To create a workflow, simply open the Measure software and select the Tools menu in the upper left of the Overview screen. You'll then select Test Definitions. Within the Test Definitions pop-up, you'll then select Workflows. There are two pre-made workflows in the Measure software: Basic Audiometry Test and Hearing Aid Transition. Let's review these existing workflows before creating our own. When selecting the Basic Audiometry Test workflow and clicking Edit, you'll see the existing workflow steps, which include pure tone testing via air conduction, pure tone testing via bone conduction, speech reception threshold test, and speech discrimination test. There is also an option to make these tests mandatory. As you can see here in this workflow, both pure tone tests are mandatory. You are also able to edit preloaded workflows by clicking Add to add additional assessments, or by clicking a workflow step and selecting Edit. When selecting the Hearing Aid Transition workflow and clicking Edit, you'll see the existing workflow steps, which include Real Ear Unaided Response and Real Ear Unaided Gain, Hearing Aid Transition, Real Ear Aided Response 65 dB, Real Ear Aided Response 80 dB, and Real Ear Aided Response 50 dB. Note that Real Ear Unaided Response and Real Ear Unaided Gain and Hearing Aid Transition are mandatory steps, meaning they cannot be skipped. If a mandatory step is unable to be completed, the user will be notified that the criteria to fulfill that step were not met. They will be prompted to enter a reason why to be able to advance by either finishing or changing the test. Once a user selects Finish to complete a workflow, if all mandatory steps were still not completed, they will be prompted to confirm that they'd like to finish and again explain the reason why mandatory steps were not able to be performed. Now, let's create our first custom workflow. In the Workflow screen, click Add. You will be prompted to name your workflow and provide a description. While a name is necessary to save the workflow to the software, a description is optional. To add your first workflow step, click Add. In this window, you'll be prompted to name your step and select the step type. The step type is the process that will occur when this step is reached. The step type can simply be a message to remind a clinician of a procedure or process, or it can open a specific test window, like tympanometry or the Stinger test. If you'd like this step to display a message, simply type the desired text in the description box located under the name of the workflow step. Once you've added all the applicable workflow steps, click OK to save the workflow. You can then close the Test Definitions windows. Upon doing so, you will be prompted to restart the software to apply any changes made.